The king of Atlantis is here, yeah. I think I'll pass on that beer, huh? I don't want smoking that bud, yeah. I don't want sip on that. Welcome everybody to episode 5 of Stranded Deep with OneToedJack. We are 5 away from hitting that double-digit number on the podcast. We are 5 episodes in. And you know what? I'm really digging these, man. I'm really liking this. You know what I'm saying? Aside from the Twitch streams, aside from the live streams on TikTok and my posts on Instagram and my engagement on Twitter and stuff like that, doing these podcasts kind of allows me to just like talk about shit that I don't really talk about on the stream, you know what I'm saying, on the live stream, or really like in general, because I'm not really a social media active kind of guy either. I mean, the most I'm most active on is Twitter, but I don't really be posting on my Instagram story like every day, or like even when I do post on the day, you know, when I'm doing something, I'm not posting like, you know, 5-6 stories a day, you know what I'm saying? So this kind of way of, you know, just kind of like spilling my thoughts on things is kind of a cool way to do it, and I've been enjoying it, man. I've been enjoying it, even if people don't listen, man. Even if people don't listen, I kind of use this as a way to just talk about shit. You know what I'm saying? To just talk about shit. Even like sometimes my wife listens to it. You know what I'm saying? When she's not around me, and she could kind of like, you know, see what your boy is thinking about that I'm not really like telling her. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't tell her shit, but you know, just shit that I'm just like comes to my head, right? I was kind of struggling right now when I was hitting the record button because I didn't really know what to talk about. You know, there's not a lot of interesting things that I think happened this week that piqued my interest enough to talk about it on the podcast, or to even remember that I would want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? This past weekend, I think like Ant-Man and the Wasp came out. The third Ant-Man movie. It has like really mixed reviews, most like mixed to negative. So I didn't even like, I'm not really interested in watching that or anything. Like I'll watch that shit when it comes to Disney Plus, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I mean, that was a good Marvel movie, right? Like it received a good amount of praise and stuff. And I still didn't go to the theater to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of have like, I'm kind of at a Marvel fatigue right now. I really feel like unless you're like a Marvel fan, you know, like Die Hard, you fucking, you know, got comic books and shit like that. I feel like the average moviegoer is a little fatigued right now, you know? And I kind of feel like the way Marvel has their shit set up is like people are only going so that they don't miss out on a certain aspect of the story whenever that real big fucking next Marvel movie comes out, right? Like whenever the next Avengers film comes out, or fucking, you know, just a huge movie, like Infinity War level kind of movie, people want to be in the loop, and I think they're just kind of just going just so that they don't get out of the loop. Like I feel like people ain't really going to see Ant-Man. They're just going to see the direction that this universe is going in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, Paul Rudd is a dog. A dog. I love Paul Rudd, man, but I don't give a shit about Ant-Man, brother. You know what I'm saying? So that came out, you know, and that's pretty much all I could say about that. Well, we spent 2 minutes talking about Marvel, and that's pretty much all I can say because I haven't seen it, you know, and I'm not really interested in seeing it, nor am I going to take my ass to the theater to see it either. So there's that. What else has been going on, man? I mean, that's pretty much it, bro. You know, I was sitting here contemplating like what I could talk about and stuff, and I really just want to talk about I wanted to talk about 2 things, bro. Two things that have been weighing on my mind. I got a couple questions on stream earlier this week about my thoughts on multiplayer games, or the state of multiplayer games. Somebody asked me, I don't remember who it was, but like somebody just randomly asked me like, yo man, like what are your thoughts on like the state? I think they asked me like the state of video games or something like that. But I ended up going off on multiplayer for a little bit. But I ended up telling them like, yo, I'm gonna fucking talk about it on the podcast. Like, don't even trip. I don't want to waste precious stream time talking about fucking Call of Duty and Apex, you know what I'm saying, while I was playing Harry Potter. And then somebody else on the stream as well, the same stream probably. I only streamed a couple times this week, but somebody else asked me about my like life balance, you know what I'm saying, about like being a dad, working, streaming, balancing all that shit out, and how I like alleviate the stresses of trying to create content or trying to come up, with content. It's not really like that I'm a huge content creator or like shit like that. I mean, aside from TikTok, you would think that I'm some fucking struggling fucking streamer who gets 0 viewers and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't update the Instagram, the Twitch. I mean, I go live on Twitch and none of my VODs are there because I play copyrighted music. So it's fucking, I mean, it looks like your boy is not active, bro. But your boy is active. But yeah, somebody asked me about that, so I'll be touching base on that. And then I think that's it, man. I think we'll probably have a short podcast episode this week. And then next week, hopefully, I think we got like some PlayStation stuff happening this week. And hopefully some crazy shit happens, man. Some crazy fucking shit, you know what I'm saying? I could come over here and talk to you guys about fucking UFOs and shit like that, but nah, I mean, there's not really much going on in that aspect anymore. You know what I'm saying? That shit is old news, bruh. That shit happened last week. That's old news, brother. You know what I'm saying? So let me talk about my thoughts on the state of multiplayer video games and the state of video games in general. Now, this is not to say like I think video games are dying or anything. Like, no, fuck no. I mean, video games are like, bro, like multi-billion-dollar industry. It's like the number one form of entertainment across the entire fucking world, including fucking movies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody makes money like video games do. And, but I do feel like maybe there is some sort of fatigue, or maybe there is some sort of kind of overload of content that we're getting in terms of video games, and we just don't have the attention span anymore for certain things or to do certain things. And I'm speaking from my perspective for sure. Like, if a video game gets horrible reviews, the chances of me playing it dwindled significantly. Same goes for if the game gets high reviews, the chances of me playing it obviously increase significantly, right? Or debating about playing it. So I'm going to touch on the video games in general, and then I'm going to go into multiplayer. Video games in general, I feel, are at a peak right now. I mean, they've been at a peak for years at this point with Xbox, PCs, and obviously Sony and Nintendo and stuff, right? They're at a peak, brother. I mean, fucking video games are the fucking thing right now. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like it's very we're very overloaded on content, like on video games being released, and there's such a wide gap between this game is worth fucking playing because it's a masterpiece and this game is just good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to play, it's fun to play. There's a huge gap in that right now, bro. And it all comes down to the price of what you're gonna pay. You know, would you rather pay $70 for a fucking game that's the fucking shit? You know, that's a masterpiece. It's getting tens out of tens. It's a fucking Elden Ring. It's a God of War. You know, it's a Last of Us, especially right now with the TV show, right? Or are you gonna pay the same $7 for another, game that, you know, is the same, action adventure or RPG, but it's just not as good as this over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a huge gap. Gaming has gone very, very mainstream. You know, believe it or not, even games like Elden Ring and God of War are very, very mainstream nowadays because not only of word of mouth, but just ratings, reviews, opinions. I mean, shit. I was just a content creator with fucking like 100 followers before fucking Elden Ring came out, and in a year it's gone up to 11.3 thousand only because of Elden Ring, just because of that one fucking game. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, and I hate to fucking, I don't want to sound like I'm talking about myself all the time or anything, but like, I just want you guys to know the scope of like how mainstream a game can get. So, I think there's a big gap between that. There's less games releasing to just be good and more games releasing to try to be masterpieces, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And when they don't hit that masterpiece mark, they drop the fucking ball real fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? And ratings and reviews falter into that, and word of mouth on social media, and next thing you know, the game is on Game Pass or PS Pass or whatever, and it doesn't just get played, because because the next thing coming out is a masterpiece or is just as good or better, like, and I guess that's how it is for everything, but I feel like video games don't have the same thing as like movies. Right? When a movie comes out, even if it's bad, I feel like that movie is there and people will watch it throughout the years over time. You know what I'm saying? And it does apply to video games where the video game is there and people will play it over time. But I feel with the whole system of reviews and ratings, that gets bumped down big time, like even more than a movie does, right? If a movie is on Netflix, a lot of people will like let's say a bad movie releases, right? In 2020, right? A bad movie released, it got horrible reviews, or it was just good enough to just sit there and shut your brain off for an hour or two, right? Then it gets added to Netflix, it gets a boost of being on Netflix, right? Even though Netflix has fire shows, fire movies, all this stuff, movies don't get replayed as much as video games do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel, movies do get replayed as much as video games don't get replayed as much as movies do, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I meant to say. I caught myself getting confused there. So the replayability of a movie is on a streaming service, even if the movie is bad, is there. Whereas on a video game, I feel like the replayability for a video game is not there. Therefore, if you have low replayability or low word of mouth or low whatever, it's it has less of a chance of gaining money or gaining traction over the course of the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope you guys are following me here. Those of you that are listening or watching. And if you're confused, I'm trying to make it sound as clear as possible. Because a video game requires you to put in more time than just sitting down and watching a movie. And the only reason I'm comparing it to movies is because that would probably be the next form of entertainment in that space. In that entertainment space, if we had categories, it would probably be video games and then movies and television, right? So That's the reason why I'm comparing it to that, especially since a lot of video games are getting put on subscription based services like Netflix, like Hulu, right? You got the Xbox, which is Game Pass. I would probably compare that to like Netflix, right? Netflix is the giant. I would assume that Game Pass is the biggest one of all the video game subscriptions, and then you got PlayStation with their version, which is like what, the Hulu or the HBO Max, right? Because they got the fucking bangers, right? Last of Us and shit like that. And then you got like Nintendo and stuff like that. So EA, even like publishers have their own fucking subscriptions, right? So yeah, man, I feel like if a game is bad and releases to horrible reviews, yeah, it'll get bought still by the people that don't pay attention to that, or the people that just don't even know anything about those. But once it gets added to like a Game Pass, so that it can increase its range of audience, I feel like it gets buried down more, because nobody, I mean, people are gonna see the game and they're gonna realize, oh cool, this game got added to Game Pass, but it also got shit reviews. Do I really want to put in 20 hours into this game, 40 hours, to try this game out? Do I really want to download the game, boot the game up, go through a tutorial for 2 hours, and then not end up liking it? You know what I'm saying? So there's a really wide gap of that, in video games, that I feel leads to being overwhelmed with so many styles of video games and so many video games in general, that you're just like, fuck, bro, like I just can't, you know what I'm saying? You're not ever gonna play every video game in the world, you know what I'm saying? And you're not ever going to watch every movie in the world. You know what I'm saying? But it's easier for someone to recommend a movie, even if it has low ratings, and you to just pop it up on Netflix and be like, I'm going to kill 2 hours of my time, and I know that I'm going to witness a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in video games, you got to download the fucking game. You got to fucking go through a tutorial. You got to see. And then maybe the story will be good, but the gameplay is ass. Or maybe the gameplay is good, but the story is ass. And you just feel like this kind of like this dread of like, oh, do I really want to continue on this, Therefore, that hurts video games in general in the long run. So I think there's a pretty wide gap in that. But then again, you also have your big hitters like Call of Duty, your Call of Duties, your Fortnites, your fucking Madden sports games, your FIFAs. And then you have those big fucking, single player bangers like Elden Ring, of course, God of War, The Last of Us, you got those big franchises, Spider-Man, right? They mostly belong to Sony, but you do have third-party big ones every now and then, right? That come out and they get rave reviews, they get amazing ass reviews, and the person thinking, oh shit, if another game comes out like this, why would I fucking play it if I have this already, So, yeah, man, I feel like that's the pretty wide gap. Now in multiplayer games, I feel, I feel like the multiplayer genre is starting to become, I mean, it's still massive because of Call of Duty and Fortnite and Fall Guys and stuff like that. But I feel like multiplayer games are starting to become kind of a niche thing, rather than the broad space of video games, right? Mostly because there isn't enough multiplayer games right now to play at different times, or at the same time, I should say, actually, that give you a different experience. Are you guys following me? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I play Call of Duty Warzone, the feeling that I get from Call of Duty Warzone is essentially probably the same feeling that I'm gonna get when I'm playing Apex, or when I'm playing Fortnite, or when I'm playing Overwatch, right? All you're doing is you're getting on, you just want to shoot people, and you just want to fucking get a W. I feel like the actual energy or burst of I don't know, like this is just that like overwhelming feeling of victory doesn't really come in multiplayer games anymore, because they're just not that they're not fun, man, but I kind of feel like they're just a niche thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can come up with a clutch play and do something crazy and have that moment like, oh, fuck, I can't believe I did that. But those moments are so rare and so far and few in between that it's not about getting on to just game and have fun anymore. It's about getting on and getting to that feeling again. You know what I'm saying? Getting to that one feeling where you hit that one shot that mattered, or you won that one kill that mattered and won that match, or something. You know what I'm saying? And those are getting more far and few in between across Fortnite, Call of Duty, Overwatch, all that, because multiplayer gamers are just getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's across all those multiplayer shooters or multiplayer games, you have your sweats, and those are always going to be the guys that beat you. You know what I'm saying? The guys that don't have fucking jobs, that stay on all day, the teenagers that stay on all night, that are way better than you. And I think it's hurting multiplayer games in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And you also don't have a lot of multiplayer games coming out the same way that you have like single player games, or those different genres of games. And there is a lot of multiplayer games coming out, but I'm talking like big hitters, to compete with the Call of Duties, the Apexes, the Fortnites. You have people that come out and try, but at the end of the day, even if it's a little bit different, it's still just the basis of, you're going to go in, you're going to kill some people and try to win a match, right? There's no, like, I don't even know how you would change that. But I feel like that formula is just getting so old. And the reason I'm talking about this too, not only is because I was asked on the stream, but the reason I'm talking about it is because I played Apex over the weekend, Apex Legends, the new update, right? I played the new update. And, it added team deathmatch, it updated the classes, guns, legends, right? And when I got on, man, I didn't feel like, I just didn't feel like I was having fun, And two, I felt like everybody else's skill was so far, like miles ahead of mine, that I was just like non-interested in playing, because I'm like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna sit here and constantly keep getting killed and waste my time and waste my time that I saved to have fun when I'm not having fun. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get on Call of Duty because guess what? I feel the same way. I get on and these motherfuckers are running all around crazy, and they have better guns than I do because they leveled them up. They put the time in to level them up and tweak them and shit. And like, I don't have time to do that shit. I just want to get on and fucking shoot, and possibly win a game. And when I'm landing and getting shit on, and then I also, I can get better at the game, but I don't want to dedicate my time to just get good at this game just so I can get the feeling of winning. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that style of play is becoming a very niche thing. And I honestly believe that it ruins gaming for some people, because people think that is gaming, getting on multiplayer, winning some games, and at the point that they are not getting that anymore, they feel defeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't want to play video games no more. They ain't shit, man. Video games are dead. Video games are whack. You know what I'm saying? But those are the same people that don't go try the Elden Rings, don't go try the God of Wars, don't go try not the Elden Rings. I already said that. The Last of Us and Spider-Mans and stuff, right? So yeah, man, I feel like it's just becoming a niche thing to be into multiplayer, and I think the franchises that are out right now have been the staple franchises for such a long time, and they need to take a back seat already, man. Like I was That's why I feel like Titanfall, when Titanfall came out, I feel like it was such a good multiplayer, such a good twist on multiplayer, and for it to just kind of be fizzled out, and the developers at Respawn to just kind of give in to what people are used to, like Call of Duty, because Apex Legends feels more Call of Duty than it does Titanfall. You know what I'm saying? Even though Apex Legends is faster, the movement wise and shit like that, but as far as gunplay and second to second mechanics and stuff, it feels closer to like the Overwatches and the Call of Duties rather than feeling closer to the fucking, Titanfalls, the what birthed that genre, or not that genre, that franchise, right? So yeah, man. But it could also just be me being, a bitter fuck because I used to be good at Apex and now I'm just straight trash, you know. But oh man, even some of the friends I watch that still play Apex, I could see it in their eyes, man. They don't want to be playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fucking play that, bruh. They want to fucking, they want to play something else. They want something new. That's why games like Among Us and Fall Guys, when they come out, they're fucking popular for a certain amount of time because it's new, it's fresh, And that's why I feel like Warzone 2 right now is feeling very dull to people because it's not fresh, it's not new compared to the Warzone 1, So yeah, man, I feel like multiplayer games are just becoming a niche thing for people, and the people that are into that will be into that until they fall out of love with it, and then, there's that, right? The one that does kind of stand very unique to me is Fortnite still, because Fortnite is third person, and Fortnite really has a lockdown on updating the game frequently, adding new mechanics frequently, adding new items frequently. Obviously the skin shops gets updated like every fucking week. So I just noticed my camera was really low too, or really high. So for those of you watching on YouTube, not on audio podcast form. So yeah, man, I just feel, I feel like it's kind of like a sad thing to see in multiplayer right now, But don't get me wrong, I like to hop in every now and then to the Call of Duty matches and get some, just get a couple kills in. It's still satisfying to get kills. It's just not, oh man, it's not intensely satisfying. You know what I'm saying? To fucking snipe a dude, or some shit like that. But and then you have, the very toxic communities, man. Multiplayer games have very, very toxic communities, especially Call of Duty, especially Overwatch, especially Apex with the randoms that you queue up with, right? You got that very, very toxic community because people think it's funny or some shit, right? I get toxic on that shit too, but most of the time I don't fucking talk to them, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, talking shit. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts on multiplayer games, on video games in general. I love video games still to this day. I'm more of a single player kind of guy rather than multiplayer these days, but I'll fucking indulge, man. I'll check shit out and I'll fucking, try it out. Other than that, man, video games are still on top, baby, and they will be for a very, very, very long time, I think, especially if you still got, you still get the God of Wars, the Elden Rings, the big bangers like that, so another thing, man, another question that I got asked this week, man. Somebody asked me how I balance my work dad / streaming life balance or whatever, how I balance that shit, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not a person that stresses a lot, and that helps big time. I do have stress, I have stress, I have moments where I get overwhelmed and I'm kind of like, fuck, I don't know what to fucking do, fuck, right? But I'm not a person that dwells on stress, nor am I a person that, you know, is upset that I can't change what can't be changed, right? I don't dwell on that shit. And that's a big, big thing that a lot of people don't, or a lot of people overlook, or a lot of people don't try to work at whenever they're trying to balance their work home life, or work stream life and stuff like that. And I think that that's an important thing to bring up, I've never been a person that stresses about money. I've never been a person that stresses about work. Work is work. If I had a bad day at work, that don't mean I gotta have a bad day at home. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was like really fucking bad, like I got fired or some shit, right? But you got to take the bad days with the good. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have bad days sometimes, and you gonna have stressful days sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But it's the good days that you remember. It ain't the bad days. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of shit you got to remember. Now that's my work from home, balance. I try to just separate the two. Work is work. When I go to work, if it was a stressful day, I come home and I'm a different man. You know what I'm saying? I got different problems here at home. And the next day I'll deal with the problems at work, right? And I don't get it twisted. I vent to my wife, about like stupid shit at work, but once it's vented, I mean, it's out. It's whatever, I got a fucking wife to deal with. I got a fucking baby, a daughter, so, I got I got other shit on my mind, bruh. So that's how I do that. I try to just keep them separated. A lot of people, stress about money. I've never really stressed about money. Even when I was fucking broke, I ain't broke right now. I ain't been broke for a few years now, and when I'm talking about broke, I'm talking like you ain't even living paycheck to paycheck. You're fucking living, I mean, you're just living, dog, with no money at all and no fucking groceries in the fucking fridge. You know what I'm saying? When you're living paycheck to paycheck, you got a house, you got groceries, you got, you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're making ends meet, but you got a house, you got, at that point, I consider that just like struggling, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you in a struggle, you know what I'm saying? Or money tight, you can't go out and buy a fucking Xbox, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to choose, do I buy this video game or do I buy fucking meats for the week? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of, like, that's paycheck to paycheck. I don't consider that broke, When I consider you broke, I mean like, bruh, like you don't have the money for next month's rent, your gas bill is fucking 5 months past due, your water bill's 3, your electricity's 2, like, oh bruh, like that's broke, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't have the money to afford the basics, so that's broke. The money that you have to barely meet basics is struggling, paycheck to paycheck. And then the money that you have to meet the basics necessities and still splurge on yourself, go out to eat, fucking buy video games, go to the movies, subscriptions and shit like that. You got money, Now if you're rich, that's different. Obviously, you're rich, but your boy hasn't struggled on money in a few years now, and so that's one thing. But even when I was broke, even when I was living paycheck to paycheck, I never stressed about money, dog. Never. Because the more you think about stressing about the money you don't have, the more you ain't coming up with ways to get that money you don't have. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, that's some straight up real shit right there, bruh. And my mom instilled that in me. My sister instilled that in me. My friends around me instilled that in me. I had a best friend when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And she always told me, bruh, You know, hey, bro, if I ain't got money, I'ma get money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna find a way to get money. It ain't no. I don't got time to stress about me not having it. That time of me stressing, that energy that I'm stressing, could be me cooking up ways to get money. You know what I'm saying? I could be putting that energy in. How am I gonna get mine? You know. So that's one thing I always think about, bro. You know, one thing I always think about. Don't stress about the money, dog. You know, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you know, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, bro, you know, shit. You know, come up with side hustles, dog. You know, fucking wash cars on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? Like, take care of somebody's kids, become a babysitter, do something, man. There's always ways to make money, dog. There's always ways to make fucking money, bro. You know, and that's one thing that I learned, bro. That's one thing that I learned, you know, even if you got to sell some ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. Don't fucking sell ass, bro. I mean, you still got to have some fucking, you know, you still got to have some fucking a soul, you know what I'm saying? You can still got to contain yourself, dog. But hey, man, you know, you got to hit the gutter every now and then, you know. Take a little sips from that gutter. Take a couple sips from that nasty water. It'll make the good water taste so much more better. You know what I'm saying? That's probably a horrible analogy, but you know, I feel like some people just got to hear it, bro. Just don't stress about no money, dog. It's going to come. It's going to come if you put in the work to make it come. You know what I'm saying? So there's that thing, man. You know, never stress about money. Even when you're broke, find ways to get it, man. Find ways to get that shit. You know, and if you can't think, you're coming up with excuses. You're, oh my God, like I don't know how. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. You just don't got it, bro. You just don't got that hustler mentality, I guess. I don't know what the fuck you call it. You just don't got it, bro. You know, you gotta find a way to unlock that shit, right? So when it comes to work, home, and streaming balance, streaming can be stressful, man. Streaming can be stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I go live, bro. There's only like one person watching, two people watching, three, you know, and I'm questioning myself, is this really worth me fucking streaming to this amount of people, you know, when I could be like over there fucking chilling with my daughter or chilling with my wife or something. And like those kind of questions come across your head, man, all the time. And in my opinion, bro, you got to treat it like how I just told you to treat money. You know, you can't stress about that kind of shit, bro. You know, if people gonna watch, people gonna watch. If they ain't gonna watch, they ain't gonna watch. If you feel like getting off, get the fuck off, dog. You know, you ain't a fucking ninja. You ain't a fucking Dr. Disrespect, right? You ain't a Tfue, bruh. Get the fuck off, bro. If you don't have the energy to stream and to go live and to play your video game and do whatever you're doing, you know, just get off. Come back when you have that energy, dog. And if you don't get no viewers, bruh, I mean, hey, sometimes we just ain't gonna get none, dog. You know what I'm saying? Figure out ways to switch it up, you know? Like, for instance, me, I hit a fucking wall on Twitch when 2022 ended and 2023 started. I hit a wall, bruh. For like 4 months, I got like 2 followers on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? My viewership was dying, bruh. Like, it was, I mean, I went from like double-digit viewers to like 1 or 2 watching me, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't tell you why. I don't know why. However, I didn't let that faze me. I still continue to put out content on TikTok. You know, I still put up clips on Instagram. Even when I was streaming and I had to take a clip of something funny that I said, I clipped it myself and be like, you know what, man? That would actually be funny to post on Instagram. Even though nobody's here watching it, I could post it on Instagram and people would think that's funny and maybe come later, right? So you got to think about shit like that, man. You know, you got to think about other ways to get people to come and watch you. You going live is just not going to fucking, that's not enough, man. You just going live in general and telling people on Twitter like, yo, I'm live on Twitch, come watch me. That's not enough, dog. That's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason I was talking about the wall I hit is because I moved over to TikTok to go stream on TikTok. And my followers have gone up on Twitch because people on TikTok have been asking if I have a Twitch. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't streamed on Twitch in a month. And I've been gaining followers and stuff, you know? So I hope, I don't know yet, but I hope that when I go back to Twitch, those followers that followed me will be able to get a notification and come watch your boy. But if that doesn't happen, I can't, like, that's destiny, I guess, bruh. You know, I can't force people to watch me. Why am I going to stress about something that is out of my control, dog? You know, the only thing I have in my control is trying my best to convince people to come watch. And if they don't, then they don't, man. That's out of my control, you know? And when you think about it that way, that helps your home balance, because when you get off a stream, you don't feel defeated. You don't feel depleted. You say, hey, man, you know, it was just a slow stream today. Fuck it, man. I get off, bruh. I'm going to go chill with my daughter. I'm going to go put my daughter to bed. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing that I got to do is be a fucking father to my kids and be a good husband to my wife. Those are the two most important fucking things that I got to do. And I ain't going to let some fucking stream, some fucks at work, my paycheck, get in the middle of that shit. You know what I'm saying? If my paycheck comes out low and my daughter wants a fucking brand new Barbie house, right? It's my fucking role. It's my job to be a good fucking father to my daughter, right? If my daughter wants her fucking Barbie house, or she wants me to fucking play with her, she wants to go outside, she wants to go swimming, she wants to do that, but I'm too fucking busy in my head being like, nah, man, I'm fucking stressed about work, bro. I don't feel like doing nothing. Guess what, man? To her, that's bad fatherly shit. You know what I'm saying? Not only am I failing in getting money, but I'm also failing in being a good father. You know what I'm saying? So don't stress about shit like that. Find ways to fucking get it, dog. You know? And the only reason I'm talking so much about money is because that's the number one thing people stress about, you know, is money. And I'm like, dog, you know, get that shit, bro. I have never been a person to hate on somebody that's making money in any form, dog. Not even prostitution, dog. If you wanna stoop that low and that's how you wanna make your money, make your motherfucking paper, dog. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck am I to judge, bro? You probably got more money than me. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck am I to judge? If you feeding your family, you being a good mother, you being a good father, fucking do your thing, dog. Make your fucking money. You know what I'm saying? If you fucking working at McDonald's, like a lot of these kids, man, it fucking trips me out, man. A lot of kids are like embarrassed to get like jobs at McDonald's, jobs at Whataburger, jobs at fucking In-N-Out, jobs at shit like that, right? Fucking gas stations, right? And I'm like, dog, fuck that, bruh. You go get your fucking money, dog, by any fucking means, brother. By any means. You know what I'm saying? Luckily for me, not only do I work, but you know, I have a loyal fucking community on stream. So I get a regular paycheck every month from Twitch. You know what I'm saying? And that's just side money. Most of the times that goes to gas, a bill, or straight to my daughter, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I don't need anything for Twitch, right? Because that money comes from Twitch, I send it back directly to my Twitch. I invest in cameras, lighting equipment, back equipment, you know, behind me, right? Those of you that are in audio, I got like shit behind me that makes like the stream look cool, right? Graphics design. I mean, you can ask my graphic designer, my brother-in-law, bro, like I have never, ever asked him to make me something and be like, yo, dog, hit me this one on the free, you know what I'm saying? No, dog, I am always like, yo, how much do I fucking owe you? Name your price. And if I can't pay him that time, I'll be like, you know what, dog? Let me pay you half right now. Don't send me the graphic, and I'll pay you the other half, and then you can send me the graphic. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I have such a good relationship with my graphic designer, aka my brother-in-law, and he knows that I'm gonna pay him, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows that I'm not that type of fucking person, right? So all that shit, man, like work, home, stream, content creation, even if you just have work and home stresses or work from home balances that you need to adjust, right? Even if it's just that and you don't have like a side hobby like streaming, fucking, I don't know, basketball, football, whatever the fuck you do on your own time that you have to fucking do, right? If it's just work and home, bro, always remember that relationships with your wife, relationships with your kids, relationships with the people that you live with always got to be solid before anything else, bro. And if they ain't solid because of money or if they ain't solid because of time, fucking figure out ways to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like right now in my kid's mind, bro, she don't give a fuck about my money, right? She gives a fuck about my time. Is my dad going to be able to watch movies with me right now? Like, I want to play with my dad. I want to lay in bed and watch fucking Bluey with my dad. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to Target with my dad and get me a little $5 Barbie. I want to do this with my dad. You know what I'm saying? That's time being put in, right? Now I got to balance. Okay, I'm going to stream 2 hours, and then the last hour, I'm going to go chill with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stream 3 hours, like shit like that, bruh. It's just, you just got to figure it out, dog. You got to figure it out, bruh. And you can't, and don't complain, bruh. That's my biggest fucking thing. You can vent to other people like, man, I've been stressing, man. I've had a lot of shit on my mind, bruh. I've had a lot of shit on my head. I just got to let it out. You know what I'm saying? I've been handling business, but I gotta let it out. I do that all the time, bro. I go to my sister, I go to my wife, I go to my mom. And I just like vent all this shit that I'm doing, because it does get in your head and you do get overwhelmed, bro. But that doesn't mean that I didn't fucking handle business that week. That doesn't mean that my bills ain't paid, that my wife ain't happy, that my daughter ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, bro, like, I don't know, man. I just people that complain and sit around and complain about their life and do nothing about it. Man, those are the people that you're just like, feel sorry for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? To that, I say, you in your situation because you want to be in that situation. That's something that my sister and my mother instilled in me since I was young, dog. Whatever situation you're in that situation because you want to be in that situation, dog. You know what I'm saying? If you broke because you want to be broke. If you living paycheck to paycheck, you doing that because you want to do that, dog. Your job ain't fucking paying you enough. Go look for another one. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get hired because your resume ain't built the fuck up, build a fucking resume. Lie on that shit, dog. Build some fucking skills. Learn some skills, dog. Hit the fucking YouTube. Learn how to use programs. Learn how to fucking do things. You know what I'm saying? Pick up your customer service skills, dog. Pick up your people skills. You know what I'm saying? Just search on YouTube how to increase customer service skills, how to increase people skills, how to be more social. You know what I'm saying? Do shit like that, bruh. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of sound like I'm just like talking shit at this point. But I hope I covered the question of how I handle work, home balance, my stresses, being a father. I touched on a little bit of that. I hope I handled, what I needed to handle in terms of this conversation. I'm going to keep this one short. We're already at 50 minutes, which is longer than I expected to go today because I didn't have topics to talk about today. I kind of rattled on, but sometimes that's what we do, brother. That's what we do. So, that's it for today's episode. If I touched your soul during this episode on some of the stuff I said, get to fucking work. Get to business, right? Stop being a bitch and come on, right? And handle fucking business, man. Handle fucking business. Have a good week, everybody. I will see you guys next week. I'll be live this week, so if you guys want to catch a live stream, you can ask me questions during my live stream, and I'll answer, by the way. I'll answer in short form, and if I think it's a good enough question to talk about on the podcast, then obviously I'll elaborate on the podcast. So have a good week, everybody. This was Stranded Deep, episode 5 with the OneToedJack. I believe we're getting ready to get some guests on here. I think my first guest is going to be the 2-ton savage, a.k.a. my brother. So I will talk to you guys next week, man. We'll see. We'll see what we can get set up in terms of getting a guest in here or whatever goes on from here. I will see you guys later, man. Those of you on YouTube, have a good motherfucking day. Those of you that are listening on audio podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever. I love you. God damn it. Hope you got a good little ASMR there. All right, man. Peace.